Remember this card. It goes right into the center and we push it all the way in. Now, watch. Now that might look almost impossible, but trust me, you can do it. This is my variation on the finger stab. It almost feels like a stunt, but it's a card reveal that you can learn within minutes. Minutes! I'll show you how it works, how to practice it, how to perform it, and most importantly, how to make it look impossible. Now grab your deck and let's do it. All right, let's break it down. So in this part of the video, I'm going to talk mostly about the technique, and then later on, I'll break down the performance a bit more. So to start, the way this is going to work is you have any card selected. Just because I like the Ace of Spades in this deck, got that beauty, we're going to use that card. And we'll do this with the card being face up. Maybe it's easier to see that way. Now, when you're holding the deck, you want to hold it in a dealer's grip like this, thumb on the left side of the deck, index finger on top, middle ring and pinky fingers on the right side. Of course, I'm holding the deck in my left hand, so if you're right-handed, you would hold the deck in your left hand and just do the opposite. So you have this card here, and you're gonna riffle through the side of the deck, just like this. You wanna curl your index finger underneath and riffle like this. That works well, or that works just as well. You riffle through like this, and wherever the spectator calls out stop, you take that card and put it in that location. Now that it's there, you wanna insert the card in a way so that you can easily identify it when you throw the deck down and go to actually grab the card. Well, the way that it's originally taught is it's sticking out of the deck like this. But I found that to be a little unnatural, the way that it's all handled, so I like doing it this way better. The card is taken and put into the deck like this. Now, I forgot exactly what this move is called, so if you know, leave it down in the comments. But I'm gonna push this card in at an angle. I'm not gonna push it straight in like this, otherwise it just goes right into the deck. Now I've lost the card. I'm gonna push this card in so that I'm pushing at an angle. I'm gonna push here on the top left-hand corner of the card, and you can see as I push in like this, from the front it's gonna look like I'm just pushing in a card. But if I'm pushing in like this, and I'm pushing in with my middle finger here on the top left-hand corner, and these two fingers are almost covering this edge, so it just looks like I'm pushing the card in, but actually what's happening is that I'm pushing at an angle because of the way that I'm pushing. Focused on the middle finger, and you can see as I do this, the card's gonna come sticking out here in the bottom right hand side of the deck. So I push at an angle like this until the card hits my pinky finger. Again, this may take a little bit of practice. Put the card like this, push in at the corner, and as you're pushing in at the corner, make it stick out until it hits your pinky finger. Now from this point, right, so the card's like this. From this point, you're going to use your left or non-dominant thumb to push the card in like this and down. So you push it in slightly, right? So one more time, here, you push it in slightly and then down like this. And as you're pushing the card down, hopefully I can show you this. As you're pushing the card down, now it's definitely hard to show at this angle. As you're pushing the card down, it's going to come out here. So I'm using my middle finger and ring finger to guide the card like this, and I'm using my thumb as a pivot point to straighten out. So ultimately what you want the card to look like in the back is this, okay? It's gonna look like this, but now this is actually covered when you're holding it in a biddle grip with your right or dominant hand. One more time, you take this card, put it in like this, push it in at an angle, use your thumb to push down and forward, and then you'll see the card here is at an angle. Ideally, you want to push it a bit deeper in, so you can actually even use your index finger to help if you want to, and push that card a bit further down like this. You don't want it to stick out too much, definitely not more than an inch, otherwise it's a bit more visible. But this is just something you want to practice, and trust me, it's going to become a lot easier the more that you do it, and you might actually shock yourself and do it instantly. All right, say you're all set to go, you have the card here out jogged at an angle. You want to make sure now when you're holding this deck, right, at this point, the card is pretty safe, right? When you're inserting the card into the deck, it's pretty safe. It's not very angle sensitive. But the moment you remove your dominant, or in my case, my right hand, I want to make sure I instantly turn the deck so that it's no longer facing the spectator, right? If it was like this, you can see the card. So I turn the deck so that this card is more pointed towards me, and then I hold like this. Of course, this is going to be very angle sensitive because anyone in this field of vision here would be able to see it, versus no one from about here to here would be able to see it. as we're holding the deck like this. And depending on the height of the person, whether they're taller than you, shorter than you, or at the same height, you want to angle this deck, right? That's going to be key because otherwise they can just see what is that. That's insane. And once you get to this point, you want to get very comfortable in grabbing the card. This will take a couple of minutes of practice. It took me about 20-25 minutes of practice in terms of timing when you drop and when you grab. And even for me now, it's like 80% of the time it works. If we're lucky, honestly, it's probably closer to 60, but like, watch. You grab the card. The rest of the trick might take a bit of practice depending on how comfortable you are inserting the card as it's out jog, and then also practicing angle sensitivity, which is definitely best doing it in front of a mirror. Let's talk performance tips because there's really two ways that you can do this. Either use it as a standalone effect or use it as part of an ambitious card routine. Now, I personally prefer the ambitious card routine because I feel like it kind of just builds up to that point and then ultimate grab makes it look pretty cool, but a standalone effect works well. Okay, not as well. So ambitious card routine, right? You have your ace of clubs there, you take it, put it somewhere towards the center, snap your fingers or whatever magic gesture you do, it comes back up to the top. And then you could do the exact same thing that I taught here. Put it into the deck, right? Lose it into the deck. And then when you drop and do the catch, you're already all set to go with the card loaded up. And with the cards flying out everywhere, I think that's a great way to end because it's almost like confetti coming out as you finish your effect. Doing this effect as a standalone, you have to make it look a lot more interesting, right? So for example, have them pick out whatever card they want. In this case, 7 of diamonds, right? You could take it, lose it in the deck, have them shuffle up the deck. I think that's gonna add the most impact. Now, there's many things that you could do at this point. The card was 7 of diamonds. You go through and say, okay, I just need to figure out where the 7 of diamonds is so I know the moment on when to catch, right? So most of the time you'll see 7 of diamonds somewhere towards the center, and there I have the 7 of diamonds. You have to now find a way to either control it to the top, and again, this is just how I would do it, but you can feel free to use whatever method you want. I would control it to the top and then almost do like an ambitious card routine of like, okay, you clearly see the cards in the center. Now I can just do like the cull and move the card to the top of the deck, and then I insert it. So, but once it's on top, I could say, check that out, boom, the card just jumps to the top. But we can actually take this even further and make it look cooler, and then I go right into the effect. If you don't want to do something like that, or let's say you don't want to do the cull, you have to figure out a way to have this card sticking out of the deck. The original method that was taught, of course the card is, I guess, cut into the center like this, and then using the pinky, it's kind of pulled out here from the side, and then the deck is held this way with the card protruding out the back here. And then it's dropped again, same way, and then caught and the card revealed. So you could do it however you'd like. If I do it as a single trick, I like to kind of build up with a small effect to start and then have that with a more punchier ending. A huge shout out to all my Underground Club members and thank you, love you, see you soon. So you might be asking, why is this called finger stab? Well, I don't know.